Alright guys, welcome back. Let's put some shapes on this and make it look like a bit of an aeroplane. All our hard work will pay off and we should be able to put it back together relatively quickly. Alright, just using my fly cutter, chopping board from Coles, make up a little spacer. Just leave the little top hat sort of section. Tail planes on, rudder and fin. And this little guy, I'll paint it black, but that'll just be a spacer under there. Nice bit of surface area, 5 minutes work. Alright, getting the tail on. Fins mounted. The piece goes in there, nice and solid. Just working on these, we'll do up the rigging wires, working on the turnbuckles. I found I just needed to go up one size in the, haven't got much to play with, but I went up one drill bit size. I think I ended up at some weird size from 13/64 I ran through just to get that thing, the cable shackle or whatever you call it, to just float a little bit nicer in the turnbuckle. I've set them up 2 threads out in anticipation just to tweak them slightly. Let's rig it up. Quick little lock wire just on the clevis pin. So I'm going to say this once guys, but I know things aren't, you know, too many washers, thread bound. Initial rig, okay? So if you see things in the background, get over it, we'll fix it later. Like down here for instance, does the job for now. It's all got to come off, disassembled for covering. Just bear that in mind. So as long as they're tight, I don't really care. I think I've got a few, like here, I think I've got about, there's 3, 4, 5, 6 washers on this guy, but it's tight, doing the job. We'll worry about the correct dash length at the end. Right, so the wing's back on the board. Next step, slot this, put some holes in it. Hanger's starting to look a bit like a play gym. So once I level the fuselage, we'll run the bottom wing out onto this stand, square it all up with the centre line of the fuselage. I run a string line across, I think. That'll get the wing straight, and we'll measure to the tail post to check it's square to the fuselage. Then this frame here, once it moves in a bit, I think I'll bring the whole fuselage forward a bit, utilise as much space. The wing rack will go, clean up a bit of this stuff. The top wing or centre wing will sit up on these, get my 30 inches above the fuselage. Then we start making the cabanes, same out that side. And then we've got the so bottom wing, and this will be for the top wing. This will slide in around this stuff here. Today, got the fuselage, got the tail on the fuselage. Got a rear fuselage stand there as well. So what the go is there, guys, once I mount the wing, the bottom wing, which is one of them's on the bench over there, mount the bottom wing, then I crank the tail up to get the bottom wing to 0 or level. Then everything else is just built level. And then as you imagine, you drop the tail down, and then you've got back to your angle of incidence in relation to 0 is the top of the longeron. That's 0. Played around with the tail, so I think the light's better around this side. Tail's permanently on. Well, when I say permanently, it's going to be on for a while until we pull it all apart, ready for covering. So I've got the wires on with my turnbuckles. Tape just stops the turnbuckle spinning because I couldn't be bothered lock wiring them. Everything's nice and tight. Everything's really nice and rigid now. This thing was flopping around. Makes everything rock solid. Got my stays on the bottom. If you remember back, we had 2 or 3 goes at one of those. Front left, I think it was. All the flying wires are on. Stays are underneath. Just ran some bricky string from the bell crank. Bell crank's roughly vertical, 2 down wires, obviously down to the bottom of the elevator. And point to note, as per the full size, the cable does rub on the leading edge, so that'll have a leather, rub strip or something on there. And that's how the tail's looking at the moment. Starting to take an aeroplane shape. I've tail wheel, so got the tail wheel on. Really happy with that. I wasn't sure how to go or where to go, and the paint on the fuselage is going really well as well. So need some springs and run the cables up for that. Alright guys, that was just a quick one. I'm actually away on holidays, so I'll post this one in the future to keep you guys interested, I guess. With the play gym all set up, once we get back, we'll look at get the wings on and things will really start to take shape. Thanks for watching.